They operate on the trunk roads and all that, in the streets where people travel. They stop them, check their documents, and take a few CDs if possible. That's not policing. So I want Mr. Dampare to be aware of these things.
Is the majority of police making a difference?
Yes, because the policemen on the ground in Ghana are fewer. Look at Accra, Kumasi, and all that. Very few police officers. I went to Kumasi early part of this year. I was in Kumasi. I didn't see policemen and women walking about in town, and that's very dangerous. Things happen before we tell the police.
Yeah,
and we are talking of southern Ghana, Ashanti region, western region, and central region, probably Greater Accra and Volta region. But go up north and see. They are not even there at all. Go to Boku, Navrongo. Those are strong places, a big place, but there are no police service there.
It's a shame.
Yes. So, Mr. Dampare, I wish him good luck. I wish that he really, really, really appeals to the Ghana government to more quadruple the numbers we have. He knows the numbers of the police in Ghana. If they are 4,000, we need about 16 or 20,000. You are under policed in Ghana. That's why a lot of crimes take place.
Yeah, but Chairman, you see, I don't want to make it look as if we all share the same sentiments of the LGBTQ issue, but you have a stance on it. You want to talk about it at all?
Yes, LGBT and all that. I think it's a private matter.
That's why I ask you. I don't want to generalize it. I don't want to make it look as if everybody have the same stance.
Yes, you see, let's say it's straightforward gay business. Yeah, it's a private matter. It's a private matter. If somebody wants to be gay, it's not a big deal. We don't want to know. We don't know. We don't want to know. We are not interested. A place like Ghana, our priority is not gay. Our priority is to get very good roots.
But I just told you how that seems to be, an issue of denying MPs, especially who have political assignments or in the interest of the country.
Yeah, I don't see where the connection is, because an MP in Ghana, who let's say is a cabinet minister as well, yeah, the people who may from time to time travel outside to, sign contracts or engage in some discussions and all that. That is fine, but not every member of parliament. That's why I started by saying, should we need something being done outside Ghana? The Ghana High Commission is there. Otherwise, close the High Commission down. If you don't trust the High Commissioner, sack him and bring a proper one. So, the reason people have to come from outside, from Accra into UK, means that they are coming to do some job which the Ghana High Commissioner cannot do. And I'll be surprised if he cannot do. Papa Usankuma. What job can he not do on behalf of Ghana government, as an example? Do you understand? So, and we've got right officials supporting him. So we don't need anybody coming from Ghana. Unless to attend some trade fairs and all that, in delegation. Apart from that, we don't need it. We should not link this to gay business and all that. I know that in Ghana, most people don't support this gay idea. Okay, we do, because our culture is very different. Our culture is not based on being gays. Right? But now the world has changed. In different parts of the world, they support all that. I know we are part of the international community. It does not mean we should take everything that they say, because we have got our juju in Ghana. Would the world want to go through that and learn how to apply the juju in Britain or USA or what?
Yeah,
I don't know. They call us uncivilized, but we are civilized. We got juju there. We got our own private business there. Would they want to know? We don't want to know. It's internal.
Okay, so you think it's irrelevant? It doesn't need to be talked about, or where especially people feel it's being imposed on them, at least to know they stand, which you and I assume that is supposed to be some sort of a private affair, and it's even a shame to talk about it publicly.
It is absolute shame to talk about it publicly. So we are not interested how anybody conducts himself with sexual matters. No, otherwise Everybody will go on the street showing how he performs sexually and all that.
I mean, inappropriately, especially when you get
Yeah.
children to know their sexuality as to whether they be interested in the same sex or something. You think it's even corrupting the children in the first place?
I would like to restate it in a different way. I mean, over here, from our experiences here, our children in schools in the advanced countries, they are taught so many things, including homosexuality and all that, including different types of religions. Do you understand? And and even herbs and smoking and all that. They teach our children to know the right from the wrong, the good from the bad. So that's fine. Education of the children, for them to be aware who is a gay person, why is he a gay person, who is not a gay person, why do some people prefer not to be gays. This is good. It's education, information. But when they grow up, they can make their own decisions. It's just like God, just like church. We go to church when age 4, 5, 6 and all that. We go to Sunday schools and all that, But then when we grow up, let's say 18 upwards, we can make better decisions for ourselves, whether to continue to be a Christian or rather to visit the voodoo house or to be a Rastafarian or to be a Muslim or whatever. Yes, it's up to the individual as they grow up, So from our own different homes, we've got family values.
Okay.
So it helps us. So if there's any new thing about human beings, of course, it's good to know, but they shouldn't push it on us that we must be all the gay.
Akufo-Addo with the Cape Coast incident, he says he apologizes. You think this is competent?
No, we don't accept that apology. I happen to be.
He's a human being. Everybody can make a mistake.
He's a human being. That's why we voted for him to be a president. That was we're not going to vote for dogs to president. A dog is not a human. We know he's a human being.
Even an American president makes a mistake.
Yes, you see, mistakes. You can make mistakes at a certain level, but not when you're a president. You can't tell me that, I'm a president, after all, I'm human. Okay, somebody will go and steal and tell the judge that, I'm human, after all, I made a mistake, so forgive me, and let me go home. You can't tell a judge, and the judge won't listen to you, put you in jail. But the president, to tell us that, I think NPP Manifesto number 88 is clearly there, if I'm right. They have promised a harbor, fishing harbor, watchdog for Cape Coast. Some in Elwina, but in Cape Coast they promised. And now they said Bawumia said it. They said Akufo-Addo didn't say it. They said Bawumia said it. And now Akufo-Addo has come to apologize that he didn't mean to say it. And he was wrong and all that. That is not very impressive. That's not very impressive. In fact, in his position, I will ask him to resign now. Resign now and let somebody take over from your government. If you don't have anybody in NPP to take over, then we have to conduct a general elections. Because this is serious for our leader to tell us that he made a mistake. Of course, we know he's a human being. Not all human beings are good enough anyway. But if you've shown us you are not good enough, then we doubt your capacity to think and lead us in the right way. Because there's so many serious problems in Ghana we must contend with. But we don't want somebody who come and sit at the top and make mistakes and apologize. Of course, we know he's a human being. I'm a human being. You are a human being. Do you understand? We're not talking hard. But if you think you can't do the job, please retire. Is it because he's too old? That's why he's using these words and all that. It's not fair.
I think it's rather fair if he's done the right thing, making you understand that what he did is not good, at least owning up to it.
To go honest with you, Ghana was the first, Cape Coast was the first capital city or town of the Gold Coast, which became Ghana. This was only transferred to the siege to Accra. But you must show us a lot of respect because Cape Coast has helped to sustain Ghana up to now. Look at the slave trade we went through, negotiation with the whites, with the British and all that from Cape Coast. Fanti Confederacy and all that, all the chiefs of Fanti areas. We brought the British government together to a round table, negotiated with them in the year 1844. 6 March 1844. That's why our independence Kwame Nkrumah put the date as 6 March 1957. So Cape Coast is a very important place. You cannot come to Cape Coast and mess around with us and tell us you are a human being. Of course, we know he's not a dog, he's a human being. That's why you put him there. So we do not accept that excuse. They are toying with us. That is the best way to tell us, to hell with you people of Cape Coast, we are not going to give you any harbors. We will say thank you. But next, and they've started talking about 4 more for Nana. This is the 4 years he's going through. Now they are now also talking about who is going to inherit a takeover from Akufo-Addo, Bawumia, Chairmanton, or this or that. Ghana is not interested who wants to take over from Akufo-Addo. They have let Ghana down. I don't think they stand a chance in hell for 2024 election.
Chairman, this is the case in the middle of the way. It's the very party who the whole country accuses. Started outlining who they think would be competing for the next election. That is Alan Chairmanton and then Mr. Bawumia.
I have insisted that careful planning prevents pathetic performance. So it is in order for them to think about who is going to take over from Akufo-Addo, who keeps floundering, making mistakes, and say, after all, he's a human being. When we're honest, we can live with that. But seriously looking, this should be very quiet. Ghanaians do not want to know who want to take over from Nana-Addo. The reason is that the promises they have given us with Nana-Addo at the helm of affairs, they couldn't deliver. Is it because he's a human being? He's looking for trouble now for MPP. They're going to have big problems. Nana-Addo, knowing very well that he's a human being, knowing very well that he's going to promise and fail, went on to promise and fail. Now that we've really made cuts down with him, he says he's a human being. Of course, we know he's a human being. That's why we voted him. We've got respect for him. We know the promises were good, Dr. Morton. The promises of NPP or Nana-Addo for 2016 were excellent. So personally, although my party is Progressive People's Party, yet when we lost the elections and Akufo-Addo won, I was also glad as a Ghanaian. We were all glad. Ghana nation, we were all glad. Go to Central Regional Street, people were rejoicing, and I saw them. Everybody was, not just NPP, Ghanaians across, they were rejoicing because we were going to see a new change. That new change has been a disaster. Now the president is starting to tell us he's sorry because he was a human being. Maybe that's why they overpromised us. You were telling us Takoradi to Paga railways, you're going to construct it. They're not delivering it. They're going to tell us because they are human beings, they couldn't do it. We would not accept it. We are not going to forgive them, even though I'm a Christian. But certain things can be forgiven. God himself is a forgiving God, but not everything God will forgive you. If you go and start, if you go and kill a fellow human being, shed blood, God won't forgive that one.
But God said we should plead for forgiveness. So why would what God say?
Exception. The 10 Commandments, there's exception. Do not kill. You know what I mean? It's not forgiving. Do not kill. If you kill, God wouldn't forgive you.
You will be killed.
If you get, you know what I mean? We can do all sorts of crimes and all that, but God will forgive you, except that the human being that he has created, if you are going to destroy it, Almighty God would not forgive you. By the same token, MPP has given us so many promises. They seem to be failing. Even 2016 promises, they have not finished. Forget about 2020 promises. I don't even remember what they have promised us for 2020. But Progressive People's Party is particularly interested in the promises that have not been delivered since 2016. And by God's grace, they had a chance for second term. So I believe that by now they should complete all the 2016 promises.
Does it strike you that even after this particular 4 years, they still wouldn't be done with the agenda they promised Ghanaians?
Yes, it won't be done. Dr. Morton, I've been saying elsewhere, I've written, and I'm going to repeat it. The system that we have in Ghana at the moment, NDC and NPP, they come to lie to the people. That it has been a culture to lie to the people through the beautiful manifestos just to get into power. When they get into power, they do not deliver all. It's about time we changed. That's why the MPs are struggling to have visas to come to United Kingdom for further and better medical treatment. Because what we've got in Ghana is rubbish. Rubbish in the sense that if you really don't want to die, you must leave Ghana and go to USA or UK for better medical treatment. But it must not be so. We are fooling the majority of people. Those who are privileged, that's why they want visas to come. The privileged men and women in the parliament, they want to get out, they come to UK and they go to King's College Hospital. You go to hospital for further and better treatment and do a few shopping and go to Accra. That's what it is. They're not going to do anything special here. I can do, you can do. Ghana.
John, you talk very bitterly about the state of Ghana and your readiness if the collective party as PPP to make sure every Ghanaian is very comfortable. Which of the areas that really is more of a priority to you with how you would have expected Ghana to be? The health, employment. Name them. Any of these parts that really breaks your heart.
That's okay. Yes, just as you said, health, most important.
You see
health,
kids on the street and selling all these, peddling the street with chocolate and ice cream and water and stuff like that. You could be grandchildren of these people on the Kaswa Motor Street Highway or Tema Motorway and all that. How does it make you feel to make you talk so bitterly about this?
Not really bitterly, but I would rather even say passionately. Health is very important. We must have excellent health facilities in Ghana throughout, from Kulungugu down to Cape Coast or Accra or Kumasi and all that. It must not just be limited to Accra or Kumasi or Takrady, the whole Ghana. But I believe that we are failing the people of Ghana. There's somebody who has not even traveled to Navrongo before, in his life. It's in remote villages in the upper east or upper west, Boku and all that. Remote areas are there. Some people have not even come to town yet. These people, when they are unwell, they go to the traditional native doctor for treatment, whether good or bad, true or false. That's the only choice they have. Some do not even have facility to go to see a medical doctor. Do you understand? And we've got so many diseases like malaria and all that. We need to be up there health-wise to help our people. So happen. When we're talking about pure water, one thing that I'm scared of mostly when I go to Ghana is pure water. The pure water, what does the pure water mean? The pure water is a water that the man or woman collects from the nearest stream and puts them in a plastic bag and seal it themselves. You see,
so it's not refined as it's made to understand. It's just normal water.
I said, thank you very much. You see, they put it in a container, and after the container, they fill the plastic. You don't know how clean the container is, how clean the water is. But
hello, Chairman, 1 minute. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Oh, hi, Jones. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad at all. You've been listening since we started, please?
No, I just joined.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
initially we started off talking about the sanity of the Ghanaian community, with the Dampari police, who is becoming more of a no nonsense. Be whoever you are, even if the Awuah Bempa, who as the right-hand man of the president, he got him arrested when he fumbled with the law. And then how do you call it? The Shatawale recently, who's known to be one of the biggest pink dancehall artists. It all comes down to the rest of the issues we have outlined. I must have sent you a copy of what we've been talking about lately.
Yeah.
And the MP's been denied a visa over the stands, especially with the LGBTQ. issue. What do you think is that going to affect the bilateral assistance we get from the international world?
First and foremost, good morning to your listeners. And if I may weigh into the Satawale and the IGP issue before I go on to the question you just asked me. And this is just my opinion. And of course, we're all law-abiding citizens. And I did make a comment on this particular issue, stating that Satawale pulled a stunt and he was arrested and he would spend time in jail. However, we had a politician who goes by the name of Awuah fired warning shots and she went about her business without anything happening to her. And, you know, I see the deficiencies within the law and, you know, who can be held responsible or who the law prosecutes. And, you know, so that was something that came to the forefront whilst I was looking at this whole thing. But anyway, let me move on to the next question. I realized that you posted something that Arthur Kennedy had said. Yeah. And, you know, Arthur Kennedy is somebody that I have a lot of respect for. I've spoken to him a few times, and he actually sent that that text to me as well. And you realize that he takes a view that Ghanaians should have just allowed the sleeping dog to be asleep, so to speak, to deal with this whole homosexuality issue. And now there's repercussions for MPs. Now, the fact that some MPs are said to have been denied for visas to go to other countries, you know, I'm totally against it.
Okay.
We live in a society where I believe in freedom of speech. I don't believe in hate speech, and I think that, you know, depending on where we are in the world, our values, our culture, yes, may differ, but at the same time, the freedom of speech should be given. Of course, the international community, some of these countries have the right to protect their borders, and who can enter and go out of the country, they have the right to do so. At the same time, Ghana too has the right to stop people from coming in or going out. They have the right to do so. The problem here is these MPs, they have their opinion, which has been influenced by what they believe to be their tradition, customs, and norms. Then you have these international communities, these countries who also share, they don't necessarily share the same values, but they have their own belief systems as well. So I don't think it's right for MPs to be denied visas, simply because if you look at the case of, let's say, the UK, United Kingdom, now we know the human rights atrocities or abuse in Saudi Arabia, but yet the UK still does business with Saudi Arabia. They sell firearms to Saudi Arabia. So then you weigh both the situation and you realize that, look, this is not fair. It's okay for a country to have poor human rights laws, but you do business with them. If you're saying that what some Ghanaians are saying or these MPs are saying about homosexuality, and you think that is against homosexuals' human rights, and therefore you're going to deny them visas, then, you know, it's not fair. It's not right. You know, in as much as we condemn violence, we don't want anyone to incite violence to anybody. But then again, people should be given the right to express their views. My issue with the LGBTQ community is their collectiveness. And I remember the last time we spoke, I said that I'm more about the security of the individual than
Joe, good morning. Let me take advantage of bringing Joe back in then. Joe, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Doc.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yamana Dumboko.
Oh, yes, I'm
Jones, hold on
Good
1 minute. I've
morning.
got Joe on the line. Let him land and then I'll let you continue.
All right.
Please. Okay, Joe, you're live on air. Go on. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. And good morning to your co-panel member over there. And Mr. Kitiosin as well. Mr.
good morning.
Kitiosin, I think your God must be a very, very good one. Because the way you talk about Ghana, about 3 weeks ago, I was told now if you talk about Ghana, you get heart attack. So I'm wondering why you've not had a heart attack till now. And you always come to talk about Ghana. Your God is really good.
Amen. Amen.
Because under Akufo-Addo, you get heart attack if you talk about Ghana. Anyway, 3 weeks or so ago, I said something that my daughter.
Can you raise your voice a little bit? What you said about your daughter being smarter than Akufo-Addo or something that generated a lot of controversies on there.
I think you remember that.
I do remember. Yeah, and then I think Sir Gabo called you to retract that statement, and then you thought you still stand with your stance.
I'm coming to give you the reason why I will never retract today or tomorrow. Yesterday, I dressed my daughter out.
Jones, can you hear Joe, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I dressed my daughter out to school yesterday. And when I was ready to take her, she said, Daddy, my teacher told me that we are to have a Halloween dress. She was told on Monday, and she remembered. So she reminded me of it. Akufo-Addo goes to promise Cape Coast people will build a harbor, and now he says he can't even remember. And if I tell you my daughter can rule Ghana than Akufo-Addo, you say I'm lying. You see, my daughter.
Don't you think Akufo-Addo is a human being like yourself who could easily, fumble with the promise?
My daughter is not a computer. My daughter was told, 3-year-old girl was told on Monday that on Thursday, dress in your Halloween dress. And she reminded me yesterday on Thursday, from Monday to Thursday, something that has been written in the manifesto. The president says he cannot remember, he doesn't even know. And if I say my daughter is better and can govern Ghana than Akufo-Addo, you are telling me I should retract. I will not retract today, and I will not retract tomorrow.
Okay.
Anyway, you see, it's so pathetic. It's so sad what is going on in our country. It is so pathetic. There is no adjective to use in describing what is happening and the governance we have today. There's so much comfortability in exercising power and then feeling that the power can never leave their hands and that it is only natural that they hand over power to their own government. That is the assumption of the people who govern us today. No recourse to the people who are suffering. No interest, nothing whatsoever. Today they tell us that the public sector is choked.
Joe, let's talk about today's issue, for example. Now with the IGP, you look at the people. The no nonsense of the IGP. Don't you think it's going to, bring up the sanity which is required in the country? And then, I know the issue of LGBT, like June said, is an issue of individual choice. But at the end of the day, can you foresee the IGP putting his feet down to clear corruption?
Yeah, you see, let's be cautious a little bit in commending the IGP in what he is doing.
No, I'm not assessing him now. I'm saying that can you foresee in future? I mean, do you think it's going to live up to expectation?
Yeah, that's what I'm coming on now, Doc. I mean, let's commend him for the show he has put up in recent weeks. But then you see, you cannot arrest a pastor in Shatawale, and then when the operative operative general of the Flagstaff House says the president is not willing to hand over, don't you think this rather causes panic, fear and panic than the prophecy by the prophet?
Yeah.
Because if tomorrow election is held and even MPP wins naturally, that they win perfectly, don't you think NDC or the other political parties will stand on this statement by Lord Comey and say they are rejecting the results and for that matter can breed chaos and violence? He ought to be arrested and he must be arrested. So if you are arresting people who for nothing, Agrada is walking freely, Nam1 is walking freely, and all of a sudden you think things that happened in the past, people who have committed crime in the past should be forgiven, and that we need to, march on and just be arresting people left, right, because we want to show that we are the new boss in charge. I think, yes, he's doing a good job, but I think he needs to revisit things that has happened in the past. We need to arrest Nam1. Nam1 is walking in the corridors of the Flagstaff House because he sponsored Nanado, because he gave money to Rebecca Akufo-Addo for her NGO, and for that matter, he cannot be arrested. He is immune from arrest. You see, a lot of things have happened, and so I would rather be cautious in commending the IGP. Yes, I want him to do his work, but you see, he should not have that kind of attitude where he thinks this one has to be favored and that one has to be dealt with. It doesn't work like that.
Deals. Okay, that's fine. Now, before you go on, let me get Jones to land, and I'll come back to you, Joe, and I'll find out whether the bilateral assistance, which the MPs are denied based on their stance on the LGBT, whether it makes sense to you, or whether it's going to deny us any bilateral assistance. Yeah, Jones, you're live on air.
I just want to just say something quickly with just to add to what Joe was saying. I also said this, that we had politicians saying, "Oh, die be die, do or die, boot for boot," and to me, that is a peace and security in Ghana, and we don't see anybody getting arrested for that. And if the IGP is not careful, he's setting himself up to fail, because situations may arise during election where some people might need to be called in within government, and they might not have the necessary power to do so, and then people would judge him upon that. But anyway, so going back to what I was saying before the line dropped, in my issue with the LGBT community,
you're talking
is
about
that
the freedom of the individual, something like that.
I was saying that thing is more about the security of the individual, not necessarily collective security. So if you come and say, "Oh, this is what society wants," I will not agree with that. So the LGBT community, it looks as if you oppose their views, then you need to be sidelined. You have to be sidelined. And if you look at it, this is the same thing that was happening to Ghana. If you oppose the MPs, majority, within society, some people will say, "No, sideline these people, they don't have any rights." The same thing when you come to LGBT community. If you're against their views, you get sidelined. And this is where the problem is. People should have the right to be able to view their opinion without inciting violence. Now, in terms of the bilateral agreement or whatnot, look, at the end of the day, it's the country's interest. I don't think nothing will stop their interest. We'll talk about it within media, but behind closed doors, they will always protect their interest. So that's why I gave the example. The UK sells arms to Saudi Arabia. Now, we know Saudi Arabia has poor when it comes to human rights, which the human rights is something that the British society hold dearly. When it comes to the interest supersedes, whatever human rights violation that's going on in Saudi Arabia.
Joe,
so this should...
You are from this part of the world, or was born here, you must say. So then we can clarify, your stand on the rights of an individual. But where we come from, somebody can be arrested based on the fact that he knows somebody. So somebody gets influenced on somebody to arrest. And so you're very particular about the law, the freedom, the security, the interest of an individual without any barrier. Anyway, yeah, go on. I want you to land, and I'll come back to Chairman before I go to Joe, and then I'll look at what he says about the security of an individual, just like you have started off.
So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is, whatever is going on in Ghana, whatever some MPs have said, is not inciting hate towards homosexuals. I don't think, they should be stopped from traveling to some of these countries, because it's not right. These things happen. If that's the case, then majority, if that's the case, then China, for instance, Chinese ambassadors or the government officials should not be allowed to travel anywhere else because we heard of the inhumane human rights abuse that's going on in China.
Okay. For some reason, we have limited lines. Somebody's calling your line, Jones. You want to drop it and come back again? Let me hear who is that, and then with all due respect, please. Hello? Oh. I think it's the same Awuah whose phone dropped. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, doctor.
Oh, who's this, please?
Krobiani.
Oh, Krobia. Akwaba. I said, on catch a kakra.
Yeah, easy. I'm saying you near my yes,
Oh, got to bedroom more LGBT.
Very. I continue you with that.
Makwaba. Pacha one with you to be casa.
Oh, all right. Yo, me my chief wing acting. And I made the move call you and say your custom. Yeah. Doctor, Eddie Kaino, I'm saying, can be for IGP, Eddie home. Now, many a Jew, me tan in the yard, tan, I'm in the yard, what can you know? Now, as fast nam one more and a number, nam one, as some decencies here, Quack with the court. She say police no intimate sound sorry and cause Omokwa nam one, a war, it be an a crime or committee. No, see the course not and I'm one and I'm why. Let me say, or more munyan, what you may any judicial service, no. And now, woman, I'm one more at a number, I grad, I'm more, I can a judicial service, no, and a citiano, as some call police station, the police wire or mark with the in Cayeno, Aka, what do you call it, judicial service, so much of bread. Because of human rights.
Sorry, Krobia, I'm saying, Ubinya Buchama, what's no, maybe I can cackle. No, your chairman, Joe, Jadoma, my chairman, gone.
Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Jones, yeah.
Mr. Jones.
Jones on Oko, but I think we can get Joe. Joe is live on it.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Mr. Yawson.
Yeah, how are you, sir?
That's one car.
Okay, all right.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me? I said, how are you? There was no response. So.
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, thank God, thank God, thank God.
We have a limited line to a lot of calls.
Yeah,
That's the
okay.
problem. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for your input as well. I've listened to everything you are saying, and Jones as well. We are all talking about the same thing, But my point, I don't know if you heard what I was saying. My point is that the LGBT whatever argument in our House of Parliament, if somebody outside Ghana is using that for denying visas to Ghanaian members of Parliament, I seriously don't even have a problem with it. The problem I have is that where do the MPs want to go? The Ghanaian MP who has been denied a visa, we gave him a job as an MP to stay in the Parliament in Ghana for 4 years and work for the goodness of Ghana. So why do the MPs want to travel outside in the first place? This is a question I'm asking. They must keep quiet, stay there and support Nana Akufo-Addo so that he does not forget his own statements. He does not forget not to give a harbor or whatever to Cape Coast, But MPs, they want to come out, Joe, because they want to come to London, UK, USA for better and further medical treatment. That's why they want to come, because there's no point for a member of Parliament of Ghana to come to travel outside Ghana, because if they are come to work for Ghana embassy is here to do that job. Papa Wusa Kuma, that's why we brought him here. We pay him. So why bring another person to come and do the same thing Papa Owusu and Kuma will have to do? That is my point of argument. What do you think about this?
Yeah, Joe. Joe, are you there?
Yeah, Doc. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, we can. You're live on air.
We are
We can
listening
hear
to
you.
you. We are listening to you, sir.
Yeah, I think I heard what Mr. Kitiosin. Yeah, I heard what he said. And you see, it looks like Mr. Kitiosin and I are thinking alike. Because I've also wondered something. When the MPs were issued visas in the previous past, were they issued the visas on the basis of the fact that they were supporting LGBTQ or whatever? Is that the basis?
Yeah, they were not.
Are they now telling us that their visas they have been issued in the past were issued on the basis of LGBTQI? How come that all of a sudden, today they are not issued visa and it is because of LGBTQI? Now, one thing I also disagree with my brother Claudia is that you cannot tell me one white man from UK, America, Canada, whatever, that is in Ghana advocating for LGBTQI or practicing LGBTQI. It is Ghanaians who are practicing it. So when people make noise that the Europeans are pushing it on our throats and all that kind of stuff, I don't get it. Because nobody can tell me that in Ghana, America is saying that Ghana, LGBTQI is accepted by force or we kill all of you. Nobody is saying that.
Okay.
Yes.
You understand?
I do understand. Yo, I think you can be a very good politician. You're live on air. I'm saying, I can hear you live and clear. I think that you can be a good politician.
Yeah. So yeah, and the other thing is that we all have to have the moral grounds in asking certain questions. Assuming tomorrow my daughter says I am going to be a lesbian, am I going to, kind of cast her away? And those people, now look, do you know that we are Christians? Do you know that it is a sin to have a girlfriend aside your wife? Do you know that as a Christian? Do you know that?
Yeah, I know that, yes.
And how many of these MPs, how many girls do they have? That one is not a sin. They are not.
I wouldn't know.
Advocating for
that one, unless you are chairman is your friend.
That one is not. It's not a sin. You see, when they have a side chick, it is okay. But if someone, your preference to have a side chick is your own, how do you call it? Your own moral stance. So if someone wants to be whoever they want to be, I do not subscribe to it. But that does not mean that I should. I mean, the fact that thing does not cause me any harm. The fact that it does not do anything good to me. My brothers are in Ghana. They are unemployed. And they are not lesbian, they are not gays, they are not denied job because they are gays or lesbians. They are not having job because there is bad leadership. That is what is important. If people have jobs to do and they want to use their life, it is their own life. The MPs need to use their time in talking about what can bring jobs. Why is Cape Coast not having a harbor? Why is the president bathing in the sky? These are the most important things. Why are we churning out over 1 million graduates without jobs? That is the most important thing. If that graduate gets a job and he wants to sleep in on the street and tell people to come and have, let me tell you one thing. My teacher in the primary school told me that if you want to have a girlfriend, make sure you pass your SSE and go to university, because there are many beautiful girls there. And if his own son or daughter, he would allow the son or the daughter to use his bedroom even if he passes to the university, because their life is good. It was an advice. You will see that, this man is kind of giving, but it was an advice.
Okay.
So if people get job to do and their life is good and they want to use their life for whatever reason, it is up to them. I think the most important thing that we have voted people to go to parliament to do is to look for a better life, is to look for a transformation that will have an impact on the Ghanaian. It is not about, I don't think I work with people who are in this category. They have never given me any problem. I have not given them any problem. They live their life, I live my life. The most important thing is I get my money, they get their money. Whatever they used to do with their money is their own problem. But if having a girlfriend, which in the Bible is a sin, is good for the MPs, then the lesbians and the gays are also good to have their life.
Okay, so you're looking at equal rights,
this
right?
Whole hula baloo about lesbians and gays. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course. It's because if we are saying, you see, that's why I say Ghanaians are too hypocritical.
Okay.
Because the same Bible tells you that you should not have a woman aside your wife.
Okay.
You should not have a girlfriend. These MPs, I know some of them, they have girlfriends in secondary schools as young as 16-year-old girlfriends, and they are telling me that someone using his life for another thing is a sin, but then they can have girlfriends. How many? You see, we live in a very hypocritical with our MPs. And like Mr. Yawson said, what are you coming to do in America or UK? And I think for me, even
and
if
so
it is true
hang on,
that
and so Joe, what I say, Joe, what I want to know was being denied the visa to the international world for any bilateral assistance. You don't have any problem with that at all if they still stand on their stance. Joe, Etamanka.
Well, unless they can, listen, Doc. A friend of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a friend of mine was denied visa. A friend of mine was denied visa about 2 days ago. He has the same stance as I have. Was he denied because he also supports LGBTQ?
No.
Let them come out with a reason. You see, Doc, you are a journalist, and you are supposed to get the best out of the people. Let them come out bring out facts. What was the reason for the refusal? Are they omnipotent that they cannot be denied visa? Are they some people so special?
Well, it talks about advocating the
why
LGBT.
Is it that when an ordinary,
just like you read, like I sent you, it's because of the you know.
You see, why is it that have you seen the reason for the refusal? Have you seen the reason for the refusal?
Not in detail, but as I sent to you last night, it was yeah, go on. I think
I'm asking you if you've seen the reason. If they've not come out with a reason, they are parliamentarians.
Okay.
They are lawmakers for that matter, and so they need to come out with facts. It's not about just courting sympathy. You want all of us to believe you and all that. And in any case, if they are being denied visa, they should also deny the other people visa from coming to Ghana. Then the questions are: when we go for loan, when we go for grants, when we go for aid and all that, are we giving those loans because we support LGBTQI or what? Is that the basis why we our governance is being supported? Let's be real. Let's face facts. Let us not just try to court sympathy or because we want everybody to believe us.
Okay.
You MP, you want to come to Accra, or you want to come to America, sorry, you want to come to London. Your electoral commissioner is messing about the electoral system. You are not inviting the electoral commissioner to parliament. You are interested in coming to America. What are you coming to do in America? What is there in America for you to come
for
and do?
further and better medical
So
attention?
your
That's
country,
what they want
for me,
to come
even
here.
me, I have advocated that the Western world need to deny visas to our leaders from coming to Europe. Because if they have the chance to come to Europe, they come and access the good hospitals, they come and access the good things in Europe. Now they should be denied the visa so that they can maintain the things there, the hospital there, the Yale and Co hospital. If you go there and you are not getting healed or you are not getting cured of your disease, then we all will suffer. We all, the MP and myself, will all go to that Yale and Co hospital, and we all will suffer. If they do well, we all go there and we get our medication. So there is no point. You have no basis coming to Europe to do anything. Let I support the denial of the visa. They should be denied. Even the president ought to be denied visa because he's doing nothing. He's doing nothing.
Okay.
Just flying left, right, and center. For what reason? What have we gained?
Okay, let me. Okay, that's
19,
fine.
Whatever. What have we gained?
Let me come back to
The
chairman.
uselessness must stop. How many times have you seen Boris Johnson flying?
Okay, now, chairman,
Hello.
he's asking you a question. So how many times have you seen Boris Johnson, traveling or flying?
Maybe few times, and whenever he's traveled, he's very on a very important mission. But for us, our officials from Ghana, what exceptional issues make them have to travel when we've got our embassies here? When the
Hello,
nation.
good morning. May I know who's online?
Yeah, doctor.
Oh, Krobia.
I'm say me yesterday. You do it faster me. You do it via kind of what Yeah. Doctor.
Yes, sir.
One say, now it's the point. But one, I mean, flies and I'm going back. But yeah,
That's what I've been saying. And someone.
you are on a permanent to I'm not.
Hello, Krobia. Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir. As someone working in the crane kitchen and working. Me, I've been saying the same thing for almost 12 years now. 10 years,
Yeah.
You make a very good point. Why so one people so baha? Look, medical facilities now away here, no, and yet one find the excuse me to come out. But first thing they do from airport, they go to King's College Hospital for treatment.
Yeah.
Most of them. And one of
Yeah.
them. King's College. It's not Sebi or Kolubu Ridge. Look, it's not up to a certain level. Sure, yeah. Ambulances will go over 125 ambulances. This is a year.
Yeah.
That's so what Not
Wow.
even ambulances in Ghana. Because
No.
the secret is that ambulances must be well equipped. But in Ghana, they are not. That's a vans, empty vans being go to buy. It's not ambulance. Why would ambulance is a mini hospital on wheels? But
Yeah.
the ambulance is getting rotten there. You're packing it. Oh, you know, say any MPP government. So who MPP need be a winning car because who can come say politics. Here politics. Ambulance na ye bi o. Kakra say the Ghana government dey abano juma. The reason I juma no is na nado na mpenifu na woman. Maybe it's gone off.
Yeah, Chairman.
Yeah, that's right. He's making a good point. We are all saying the same thing. All what we need, say yet about Ghana. We want Ghana a development in the nation. We want development. Roads last week there was accident. Almost every week we had accidents in all over the places.
Okay, so let me read a kakra LPMs and kakra my programs manager. Don't want to fall out. Also, organ donation by messaging key messages. Messaging, because the families will always be involved before organ donation goes ahead. It's important to talk to them about the decision to leave a certain organ donation is still your choice. And 9 in 10 families support organ donation going ahead if they know their loved ones. Okay, Chairman, go on.
We want the best for us. There are a lot of things in Ghana. I will say correct. We don't. Small thing not big or a shatter watching it's a big news in Ghana. But the bad roots in Ghana, no, all women big news. The government is not showing any attention.
Okay.
Government must be able to come to us in the society to tell us how many bad roads are there in the country. Yeah, we got a minister for roads. Minister for roads, and maybe through this channel, no, we are appealing for the minister of roads, no, from Boko down to Aflawo to Hafase to everywhere. The minister for roads, no, should be able to give us a list of the roads now. As Ghana, you see that we've got a big problem. And once we know that problem, no, then we have to prepare to repair them. How much is it going to cost us? I didn't hear me. How much is it going to cost us? The Ghana government must be channeled into repairing our roads. Roads in Awuah, because it's taking a lot of lives every week or even every day.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah. That's what I want the government to do. Any good government, this is what it's going to do. Otherwise, it's a joke. Now, ambulances is one use. If we have to give it to the Okada drivers to use it as trotro, it will be better. Rather than that, obviously empty vans, obviously on our road. Do you understand? That is what's happening. Cars in P, as I say, because it's not SUV, so the MPs are not interested. But only small visa denial is a big one. Visa kakra ya farm, they are complaining. But the ambulance are all saying they don't care. They don't care because we have visa to come here for medical treatment. That's all.
Okay.
You're going to tell me I'm a little bit.
She mess up my mind, oh. Give me your money where I dead for. Baby, I go dead for. Yo, you bust my mind, cause tonight is the night I've been waiting for. Baby, tell me what you waiting.
Okay.
Cause tonight is
just coming up to 9:15.
Baby, tell me what you waiting.
In about 5 or 10 minutes, we'll be paving way for Manyati. Manyati will be here with a legal issue to update you about the latest about the legality in this country.
Cause this love you took.
Chairman, it will be Joe Neo overall seat now. Joe is KO. The last time he came with a different one. Everybody paying Bill Gates anyway. All right, so we're going to go to the second half of the issue.
They tell me lies, but your story.
I was trying to get Joe's back, but he tried calling in to finish his point. But
show me the money.
All right, Chairman. So let's talk about employment summon. I mean, now it doesn't look like education is becoming more important. It doesn't make sense anymore. I see Berkeley University as some sort of a waste of,
Well, honestly, for education, there is not a waste, but it's just that the government using the people.
No, I'm talking about finishing to have what we call unemployment graduates.
Yeah, that's right. So unemployed graduates association, MPP for the debate against Mr. Mahama in their time. Whatever you do against people, God makes sure it comes back to you. In the time of Mr. Mahama, NDC, we had unemployed graduates association, and let my vote count and all that. Today, we must ask them, let my vote count. And yet, when a young man and woman say, fix the country, it's the same as let my vote count. They are complaining. Fix the country. They don't want to.
Papa Smiley said, Mr. Gitios and Ersal to the dance. This is from
Papa Smiley.
Papa Smiley. Also, leaders run away from their incompetence to enjoy the incompetence of others.
Yeah.
If they are serious, they should wake up in the face of these visa denials and work on what they seek from outside within. Tell Mr. Kit to dance to the song He Choke.
But I don't know the title of the music. Otherwise, I'll go and buy it to record. I like the beat.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Doc.
Oh, yeah. Joe,
Yeah, Joe.
Oh, you're back. Okay, go on, Pocho.
Yeah, Doc.
Yes, sir.
And probably this might be my last statement, then I can go.
Okay.
What I'm saying with these MPs, there, in as much as they are considering moral grounds and cultural grounds, we should also realize that our cultural values have certain elements of forbidden fruit. You understand? Power resides with the chief and all that. It's our cultural value. So if today they are basing the argument on cultural grounds, then we should then revert power back into the chiefs and stop this democratic dispensation that we are having, because that is not our culture. That is not part of our culture. There are certain elements of our culture that today we don't deal with anymore. We should go and bring all of them back. If today the argument of denying people their rights is about culture, then we need to bring all those cultures back. and stop this democratic practice, because that was not part of us. The power was residing with the chiefs, and that is what we need to revert to. I urge that we should not have sympathy with these MPs and their argument on anti-LGBT or whatever.
No, you don't.
And
I didn't want to talk about that.
No.
yeah, and
Yeah, it's
And
a
I
personal
think-
issue. It's a personal
Yeah.
issue. It's a
and
personal
I
issue.
even and
Yeah.
and you know why? One thing is that, Chairman, you see, now they've opened the floodgate.
I know.
If today they are saying they are denying visas because of their anti-gay stand,
Mhm.
then they need to give us reasons why they were giving visas in the previous past.
Oh, no,
They need to give us reasons why.
Joe, you see, I think we better talk even on more important issues in Ghana. Ghana, somebody even hasn't got shoes to wear. They sell pure water. These are the people we want to get off the streets. The question is,
Exactly.
yeah, that's more
Exactly.
important than LGBT. And you can be
Yeah.
a gay person,
Because-
nobody cares. If you're a gay person, you will never have children anyway. You know.
Yeah, we have
You
we
will
have
the
an
children, so
opposition.
It's your problem.
We have an
Worry about
opposition.
gay business.
An opposition that is using all its resources in fighting this. When you are the opposition, you are supposed to seek that the government does what is right. Today, the president is doing whatever he likes. Today, the president says, I said this yesterday, now he says I didn't say it, and he's been left off the
No,
hook.
let's
just
just forgive him. Let's just forgive him because
Forgive him for
as
what?
you say, you are a Christian. Forgive and forget.
Forgive him for what? And that is what
He
that
doesn't
is
know
our
what he's
bane.
talking about. He said, "Oh, I said it. I didn't say it."
So you
But we just said it.
You equally agree with you there.
Yeah.
It's unpardonable to say that he couldn't sort out the Cape Coast Harbor.
Of course, not even Cape Coast.
That is a human being. I'm
If-
born for
if
this.
he-
If we impact on too many
Look,
people.
chairman and dog,
Listen.
please. That issue of being a human being, nobody is an animal. Nobody, we are all human beings.
I've said
In
that.
in UK here, when an MP was caught,
Joe, look,
was
please,
caught
I want us
overspeeding.
to spend our time talking about more important things for Ghana because
Yeah,
listen,
it is important, Mr. Kitiosen. When we begin to
listen,
arrest our
I
MPs
have-
and our presidents
listen,
for lying,
I have lived
we
in
can
Accra.
develop.
Listen, I grew up in Accra, but today Accra is a rotten place. I grew up in Accra. Today Accra, we got some bush areas, so many villages in Accra. It's never you.
Outskirts in
Oh, just Odoko, Bubuashi, and all that. They were all rubbish places.
The
Today,
new sites, it's going all the way to the
Uh-huh.
south, and the barrier. So
but at the
it's
same
rather
time,
developing.
we have created so many villages in the greater Accra. This is what I'm talking about.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah. So
that's
in summing up, what I'm trying to say is that if Akufo-Addo is a human and for that needs pardon, then Mahama is actually a human. We
He's
need
an
to bring
excellency.
Mahama.
Please call him excellency. His
His excellency. I mean,
Thank you.
Ghana, we take pride in titles and all that. So His Excellency,
yes,
the
thank you.
untouchable Nana Akufo-Addo, the president who, if you talk about, you get heart attack today, he should be pardoned. And the same way, those people who complained about Mahama Rollins Kufo should also come and apologize. Because Kufo, Mahama and all were also human beings, and they also needed to have been pardoned. What we are
Or is it gone off? Isn't it?
It went off.
Yeah. Dr. Morton, but I want us to get ahead, not
Okay.
back.
Yeah,
So,
I know that
okay.
is important, but
Mm.
I wanted to get him to finish.
Yeah,
his submission.
otherwise I need a
And,
special announcement for my
okay.
my party. I'll
Oh, yeah, go on.
really. No, I'm recruiting members for my party because I can assure everybody who is listening today that it is not going to be the same pattern towards 2024. We are working very hard to get on stage from 2020, just next 3 months. We are coming together.
Okay.
The rest of the political parties, we are coming together to fight the 2024. So anybody who is listening to me, forget about what MPP is thinking of who is going to succeed in Nanado, because they are not going to win the
Yeah,
election.
Joe, I wanted
ever
you to
again.
land so that I
Yeah.
chip in money and then
Yeah.
I'll play my Yawson music.
Yeah.
And your Kodo.
Uh-huh.
Finally, you want to, and you didn't land.
Yeah, Doc,
Yeah,
thank you for calling, but thank you
that's
for the
fine.
opportunity.
That's fine.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that, like Mr. Kitiosen said, there are equally important as a nation. Today, every year, almost over 500,000 children between the ages of 18 and 25 come out from universities, and they come out and they stay at home and they don't have jobs to do. It is up to the opposition and the government in power to find plans, even if the public sector is full, put up initiatives that will give these people some aid so that they can kind of start up some businesses or find some innovation that will help these young people. We are always talking about armed robbery, and we think talking about armed robbery is just that is it. Armed robbery is rising because all these 5,000, 50,000, whatever young people who come out without job are desperate. They also want to drive in Range Rovers and all that. They are desperate. So any means for them to have that, the ambition fulfilled is what they will do.
Okay.
So we cannot be sitting out there and be talking about gay and all that, taking all our time when a very important aspect of our economy is going wasted. Because the youth are the future and they are the best human potential we can ever have.
Thank you.
Today, Germany, if you look at Japan, if you look at China,
Joe, before you go,
their human potential is declining because they are not bringing up young people. We are fortunate to have a very good human potential. We need to invest in them, and that is what the opposition and the government in power needs to look at.
All right.
And stop this, excuse my language, this nonsense of LGBT and all that.
All right, no problem. Chairman, finally.
Yeah, well, I'll ask Joe to start recruiting for members for my party, Progressive People's Party. We are still there, and we are only planning carefully so that we don't have any pathetic performance for the future. So, Joe, I'll give you a responsibility to recruit more members for my party.
Okay.
This part of the world, and I've made Joe our representative in this area. So please do that. If you get any members now, let me know. Let me have their connection.
Baba Smiley is a bomb. He choking. What's it? Damn love you or not, it has choked you. That's the meaning of the song. It was played by a lady called Sefa, Anya Shatawale, and then a lady called Sefa.
Wow.
And then with a guy called Mr. Drew. So thank you very much, everyone. Hopefully we see you next week.
All right.
Next weekend. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Then you
Doc,
have to send
please,
that
can we
to
talk
me.
after, please? Doc.
Okay. No problem.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy.
You want to tell me how I love it?
She mess up my mind, oh. Give me your money where the dead for. Baby, I go dead for. Yo, you bust my mind. Cause tonight is the night I've been waiting for. Baby, tell me what you waiting for. Cause tonight is the night I've been waiting for. Baby, tell me what you waiting for. Cause this love is joke. No, be joke. Choke, boy, choke. Cause this love is choke.